Content warning. The following show contains a host that smokes, possible discussions of violence, definitely some potty mouth language. Let's call this a very special episode. And of course, whole bunches of solutions and the likes of those things. Viewer discretion is absolutely advised. You're being real serious about this one. Yeah, it pertains to being serious. Let's start. Hey everybody, how's it going out there? This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, coming at you. Well, today I'm coming at you from the library here in the Wizard's Tower. And welcome to the dark side of the room. Now, this is the show where we talk about gaming stuff, gaming cultures. I'm so glad that a lot of you guys are here. By the way, shout out to Xanathade. I gotta say, like, serious stuff, man. I didn't know that you were Imperial Fist. I'm like, thank you. So yeah, that's a real big thing. And today we are going to talk about taking accountability, taking responsibility, for the effects of your actions at the gaming table or when dealing with people in general. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a big one. If y'all want to take notes, you definitely can. But first, let me get the contact information and stuff out there. I'm putting up all of the ways that you could help us out financially right here in the chat. There you go. Help us out. That would be cool. And if you got any questions or comments or anything, and come on down to backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK@gmail.com. There's also, you can get a hold of me at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all that jazz. Everything is right there on the screen. So there you go on that. Let's get to it. Now, one of the reasons that I'm getting to it and stuff, and I'm going to try and make this as fun as possible. All right. But yeah, one of the reasons that I'm doing this, in this format today, from here in the library is that yesterday I spent 4 hours on the show, not on the show, but on the phone with Department of Social Services. Okay. 4 hours. It's exhausting. Okay. And with that, though, we didn't get everything covered. And they said that they're going to take their information. They're going to call me today. So I can't put my phone on silent. And if they call, I'm going to have to end transmission and handle all that stuff. So there is that. So I want to get to this as quick as possible and get through this stuff because we have some really important stuff to talk about. Right now, if you guys are here for the first time, welcome. Let's see, we've got Ella, Ox, Call of Fortnite, Carthulu, Commander Root, Drapnatch, Neon Arlecchino, Xanathades, Vision Vendor, Lori Pub. Hey, nice to see you here. Yeah, so that is a really big thing. That is a really big thing. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of specifics because this is a public forum, i.e. I'm broadcasting and anybody in the world can see this, all right? But I'm going to let y'all know I am devastated today, okay? In fact, I couldn't sleep last night. And the reason I'm devastated is because yesterday, we may have lost a decker, okay? We may have lost, like, one of our deckers may have walked away from back in the deck. And I'm not 100% sure why, okay? But I have a really really big idea as to why. And if I'm correct, then the reason they walked away is 100% on me. And that is there. Now, I could be incorrect, but if I'm not, that messes me up. You know, it really does. Because I put together this channel, this company, the website, all of the events to make sure that anyone who has a history of not feeling safe in nerd spaces, geek spaces, and all the stuff that we cover, like comics and movies and games and all that stuff. You know, I put this together so that everybody could feel safe. You know, that is what I did. That is what I did. That is why I put this place together. Okay? Now, if I made someone feel unsafe, okay, if I made someone feel safe with my actions and my words, then I got to cop to that. Now, I don't know for sure, okay, I don't know for sure, but I have an idea. And this is one of the things that I'm going to talk about today because I got some crow to eat. I've got some responsibility to take, okay? I do. If I'm correct in my assessment, okay? And that's just real, all right? That's really real. So if my actions have caused harm and this person sees this video somewhere in the future, be it YouTube or on Twitch or something, okay? If my actions caused harm, I am truly, truly messed up about what I did, okay? I really am. If what's going on is what I think is going on, I'm not going to put this out there in public because that is something, the specifics of it is something that should be talked about between them and myself, okay? And I'm putting this out there because this episode is all about how to apologize properly, all right? And I did a lot of research and a lot of study over the years, okay? And there's a lot of ways not to make apologies. We hear them all the time, all right? And we're going to go through a list of all of the things that come with an apology, because I think this is really important, okay? I have talks with a lot of people about how their actions impact other people. And this is big, okay? There's a lot of times, y'all, that we're at the gaming table or we're in a store or we're dealing with friends or just doing some stuff, and our actions will negatively impact someone, okay? When you live a life that is dedicated to not doing harm to people, it's a heavy burden because you are going to do harm to people. Okay? Accidents happen. And whether or not things are accidents, the effects of our actions are still on us to fix. All right? That is the number one thing. But I've gotten into a lot of arguments with people over the years, and they did a whole bunch of stuff out there. And they thought a whole bunch of things, and it's a big topic of discussion. All right? But the fact of the matter is, there are certain universal concepts, okay? It's true, life does cause pain. But life can't apologize for the pain that it causes, and life can't undo the pain that it causes, or at least life can't knowingly and willfully help to our knowledge. But we can, okay? And I don't hold myself to a high standard by metrics that I know, okay? However, I just might. I don't know. I don't know everything in the world, okay? But what I do know is that I don't want to cause harm in the world. I understand that I'm going to. I understand that I will, because no one's perfect. But whether or not a person wants wants to cause harm, it doesn't mean that they are not responsible for repairing said harm when it's caused. All right. But there are certain things that we got to remember. Okay. A whole bunch of things that we have to remember. All right. So again, if my actions caused this Decker to not feel safe here, I truly apologize. And if my if what I think is if my thought on what made this person feel unsafe is the thing that made them feel unsafe, I apologize. I apologize for what I did. I apologize for how what I did made you feel. And I promise you that this place is safe. Okay? And that's all I can do. If what I'm thinking is the thing, I can also assure them that that like the action that I performed will never happen again. You know, or at least I'm going to do my best to make sure it never I'm going to do my best to make sure that I don't do that again. You know. So yeah, that's a thing. But that's the best that I can do. And if this person wants to contact me directly, I put all the ways they can get a hold of me up on here. Once again, that whole contact information thing, send me an email. Yeah, they can send me an email at backinthedeck@gmail.com, BACKINTHEDECK@gmail.com. We can hash it out, and you can let me know what I can do to repair the damage that I have caused. Okay? So, that is that out of the way. I wanted to get that done in the first few minutes, because this episode I decided to write with the under the premise of how important that is and how to do it properly to the best of my knowledge. Okay? Like I said, I talked to a lot of people about how their actions cause damage, and a lot of people talk to me because they understand that I'm not going at them with condemnation. All right? You know, as devastated as I am, I'm doing my best not to beat myself up. And I'm not going to say I'm a good person or anything like that, because honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a good person, whatever. But I do know that I can behave better. You know, and if I can behave better, I have an obligation to behave better, especially as the head of this company and as this podcaster, because I have a responsibility to show integrity in my word by saying this place is safe. And if I can't keep it safe from the way that people behave in it with my liberal use of the banhammer, I damn well better make sure that my behavior does not make people feel unsafe. And in the times that it does, I got to fix it. Okay? It's that simple. Now, when I talk to other people, I get into it with people all the time. Hey, what you did was not cool. Hey, what you said was not cool. Your action, well, this person feels this way. Well, that's not how I meant it. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And often, especially when it comes to things like race relation, LGBT relation, ableism, all the stuff that makes a lot of us not want to go into game stores and not want to go into community centers, definitely not want to go to any forum on the internet or join any groups. All right. When a person does something that causes harm and they are confronted on it, one of the major things that happens, okay, I don't care if it's at the gaming table, at the game store, or wherever, one of the major things that happens is that people start to defend their identity, and they do this pearl clutching and they act like victims and stuff like this. And when it's time for you to give an apology, okay, when giving an apology is something that you got to do, because you messed up just like I messed up. The first thing, very first thing to understand in that is it's not about you. Okay? You having to give an apology, it's not about you. Okay? It's not about how you feel. It's not about how hard it is. It's not about how uncomfortable it makes you. All right? All of those things, all of those excuses, all of those words that come out of people's mouths when it comes to making an apology, those are words of cowards. Okay? Because all it is a way to not be accountable for causing harm to someone else or acknowledging that you caused harm. You know, again, if I performed an action that made someone feel uncomfortable, I'm not absolutely sure, but I know what I could have done. I know this hit me because I'm pretty sure that I am that reason. And again, I gave y'all the warning of potty mouth language on this one, but to hell with how I feel about having to apologize. That is not as important as the harm that my action caused. Okay? Because it's not about me. It's not about how I feel. It's about me fixing what I broke. Okay? And if someone came here to back in the deck needing to feel safe and I made them feel unsafe, that means I broke their heart and I am responsible for fixing that. All right? And that means anybody who breaks someone's heart or breaks their trust and has to apologize for that, that's what they got to do. That is part of it. This is part of being a decent human being. And again, I don't care if I'm good, but I at least want to be decent. I know that if someone hurt my kids' feelings, I'd want them to take accountability. And the number one rule I live by is do unto others as I would have them do unto my children. Okay? I can take a whole bunch, but my kids, nah. All right? That's using a knife to pop kneecap time. If you know, you know. So yeah, the very first lesson when it comes to making apologies is that simple. It ain't about you. It's not about how you feel about the apology that you want to make. No. It's not about that at all. Okay? Not about you, not your thing. That's not how it goes. All right? Yes, Call of Fortnite. Words can hurt people. Words do hurt people. You know, this came up on my TikTok feed in a way that I have never heard it before, and it was so succinct, you know, because I grew up with all that sticks and stones may break my bones and all that garbage. All right. Yeah, I grew up with that, you know, because words will never hurt me. Wrong. The words we use, especially with other people, they cause more harm over the long term than most things that we can do with a stick or a stone. Okay? If you guys are here at BidP, chances are you were teased, you were made fun of, you were invalidated. You know, I know a lot of us, because I am in that category, was physically assaulted for the things that we like. You know, and as many busted lips and black eyes as I've gotten for being a gamer or a comic geek or, you know, liking stuff from every environment that I had gone into, those wounds healed. But weirdo, ugly, unusual, articulate, cool for a black guy, whatever, that stuff caused wounds that I'm still healing from 30 something years later. And that's the old stuff. It's not like that stuff kept happening. And the thing is, words cause harm because words said enough become beliefs. And beliefs hurt people way more than a lot of actions. Okay? again, this is a very special episode and a content warning episode. And I mean that. I really mean that, because the fact of the matter, the fact of the matter is, you know, when a person causes harm to themselves, I've known quite a few people who've caused some major harm to themselves. And the reasons that the folks that have been in my life have done so is because the words that came at them made them believe that there was no hope and they had no value. You know, and it hurts me deeply that there is a possibility that I made someone feel that way. And I'm being real with you right now. Where's the next one? yeah, Xanathade, seriously. You know, there's a whole bunch of nerd shame out there. There's a whole bunch of shame. You know, I have a sign out line that I say at the end of every show. And that's, if anyone tells you that you don't belong or you can't like the stuff you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, neurodivergency, or your budget, you can tell them to take those cards and put them back in the deck. All right? And I say that because we are here. Okay? We are right here. Okay? We are a landing pad for those people, because I am one of those people. And I didn't have the safe space that I'm trying to create growing up. Okay? I didn't have that. So I put this place together for other people that are out there now that are like me, that need it just as bad as I did or just as bad as I do. So the fact that I might have made this place not that hurts me so deeply. All right? And I would never do anything like that intentionally to someone. But that brings me to the second point for today. Okay? And the second point is that your intention does not overshadow your actions' impact. Okay? I am dead serious. Now, when we were kids, we learned somewhere out there that if your parents say bad, and you say, I didn't mean to, that makes everything okay. It doesn't. Okay? Your intention does not overshadow the impact of your actions. Not at all. Okay? And I know I'm a little passionate today, because again, I tell you guys, I don't have very many beliefs, but I'm putting a good amount of them on the table right now in this episode. All right? This is, I guess the kids call it masks off right now. And yeah, I mean, it's a real thing. All right? Now, I talk to a lot of people, and when I tell people that they done messed up, they accidentally stepped in somebody's lunch, you know, they trampled on a picnic. They say, well, I didn't mean to do that. And I'm like, I don't give a damn what you meant. You did the thing. Okay, I have an analogy, and a good friend of mine today told me that it was a good analogy, so I'm going to put that out there, which is this. If you accidentally knock over a glass and it breaks and shatters all over the floor, whether or not you intended to break the glass has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that there is glass on the floor. Okay? That's got to be cleaned up because it's real. If you didn't mean to knock over the glass, it does not mean that that glass is fixed. You cannot pick that glass up and put water in it. You can't do that because it's broken. Okay? It's that simple. You can't do it. All right? Now, where intention comes in play is that malicious intent makes the situation worse. But the lack of malicious intent does not make the action better. It does not overshadow the intent of the damage done. Okay, guys? And I'm putting this out there because I wish someone had taught me all this in school, because I spent a good amount of my 20s making excuses. You know, I spent a little bit on my 30s making excuses, but as you get older, it becomes too exhausting. And you just have to start owning your actions. And that's the real part of life, y'all. And I mean the real part of life. All right? This is not speculation. This is not any of that. This is literally just real talk. All right? This is real talk from me to you. All right? Because yeah, there are just too many people out there. Too many people out there that are always trying to clear their name. Okay? And this is a big one. And I'm talking about clear their name. I know a lot of people. Okay, I got into an argument with a good friend of mine a couple of days ago because they said to me, yeah, they said to me, they looked into their phone and they said to me that a person is what they do. And I am so against that point. I am hostile against that point. Primarily because I don't believe that anyone should be reduced to something so simple and basic. A person is much more than what they do. And I started thinking about where that comes from. Okay, where does that come from? Why would we say that? Where does that come from? And I think back, and I know this person very well. I know where they grew up and who they hung out with and how much they had similar circumstances to me. And I know growing up and in my adult life, especially in my adult life, I was told a very harmful phrase. Again, that's sticks and stones. And that is when I was faced with someone who hurt my feelings, either hurt my feelings because they made me think I was ugly, or because they said something rude, or because they said something flat out racist. Okay? I was always told, let it go, that's just who they are. Okay? I was taught to equate the action to the person so that I would feel better. And the intention from that was a very good intention, but the impact that it had is not a very good one. Part of the impact is this idea that people are what they do. Their behavior determines their character, who they are as a person. And I've seen this have harmful effects, because when you ask a person to behave better as your friend, they immediately go into, so you're asking me to change. That's where the sentence stops. But the rest of the sentence would say, you're asking me to change who I am. And it's like, no, I'm asking you to change what you do. If you wear blue pants and then you put on khakis, you're still you. You're now just wearing khakis, you know? And if you hop on one foot, if you hop on your right foot, you are still you with your life and all that other stuff. If you hop on the other foot, okay? But, again, I said this is a very special episode, so I'm going to be pulling a lot of cards today, all right? And the thing is, guys, I am a 6'4", 200-pound black man that lives in the United States of America, okay? There are states full of people that equate who I am, sight unseen, with the worst thing that someone with my skin color has ever done to them. Okay? I've been a significant other to people who have had bad relationships, you know, and because I'm a man, you know, who I am in their eyes was determined by what someone else did. I've paid a lot of taxes on other people's things. And I know that no one's perfect, but I live in a world where I will forever be condemned. And I say condemned instead of judged. No, I will forever be condemned for the worst thing anyone ever finds out that I do. Okay? But the actions that I've taken, the mistakes I've made in my past, they aren't who I am. They're just some stuff that I did. Okay? And when it comes time to make apologies, I've seen a lot of people try and protect their own ego. Okay? We have this equation where I'm a good person, therefore I can't do anything bad, because if I do something bad, I am bad. And a lot of people fight against that. It's like, I'll give you an apology for my actions once you recognize that I'm a decent person. You know, which honestly, if that concession is given, the majority of the time, the apology never follows. Okay? But that brings me to my next point. Ego is not the same as conscience. Okay? And this ties back to, it's not about you. All right? Because a lot of people let their ego get in the way of making the apology. Like, if they apologize for doing something that caused harm, or if they apologized for doing something bad, then that means they're bad. And it's like, no, put that ego aside. Okay? Having a conscience, recognizing that not all of us are perfect, and that sometimes we do things that sucks for another person. You know, your conscience is the thing that says fix it. Okay? Your ego is the thing that says, no, that's not me. Conscience is far more important than ego. They're not the same. Conscience is the thing that makes you want to undo the harm that you've done to others. Where ego wants to protect you from the bad things that you do. Okay? And I'm talking in a social sense. And y'all can at me if you want. I don't care. I really don't care. All right? And that's a really big thing. Okay? All of these are really, really, really big things. All right? And that's what I got to put out there. Okay? Now, my next point is apologize for causing harm. Now, I'm going to get into a couple of red areas. Okay? A couple of red areas. Okay, but yeah, you apologize for causing harm. Okay? It's that simple. Apologize for the harm that was caused. Don't apologize. You don't have to oh, sorry. I'm really trying to keep this regular PG-13 and I might slip. Okay? But there are real facts. When it's time to apologize, you have to apologize for the harm that your actions caused or your words caused. All right? Because a lot of the times, I talk to a lot of people, and I deal with a lot of trauma on my daily basis when I talk to people and when I'm sitting alone, not talking to anyone but myself. And I'm sorry to say, we live in a world, and again, if you guys are here on this channel, y'all know what I'm talking about. But currently, right now, we live in a world where our information streams can easily be filled with bad faith actors. Okay? With people that don't apologize for causing harm. Okay, and again, after I go through these points, I'm going to go through a lot of the stuff that ties into this. All right? But I am also trying to keep this to an hour. But yeah, and I hear so many people, you know, letting their ego override their conscience of justifying who they are, justifying why they do stuff, justifying and rationalizing how they didn't know or they didn't mean to or they're still a good person. But they never apologize for the harm they caused. They spend too much time justifying themselves when all they got to do is apologize for causing harm. That's it. Has nothing to do with content of character. It has everything to do with the impact of action. Okay? You're right. You're right, Call of Fortnite. Not everybody says sorry for what they did because sometimes they don't care. And in truth, those are the people that you can cut out of your life and drop like third period French. Okay? I say that because I dropped French in third period when I was in junior high and decided to take Latin. All right? And see, here's the thing. When you're apologizing for causing harm, don't change the subject. Don't pivot. Okay? Don't make this about you. Don't make this about how hard the apology is. Apologize for doing harm and stick to that as the subject at hand. Now, the person that you apologize to, they might have some choice words for you. And you know what? When you cause harm, whether or not you intended, and the person that you harmed wants to read you the riot act, take that riot act. Let them get it off their chest. Let them have catharsis. Don't protect your character, because here's the thing. If someone is attacking your character and you have a strong character, then it doesn't matter if they finish or not. If a person is incorrect about you, let them finish. Don't defend yourself. Don't give in to ego. Because whether or not they finish, if their point does not have any relevance, then it does not hurt to let them finish. Okay? Don't change the subject. Don't be like, but I. That's not true. I'm not that. I'm not. Stop it. Just let them finish. Okay? Don't change the subject. Don't make it about you. All right? When you apologize for causing harm, take accountability for the harm that was caused. All right? Don't change the subject. Don't make it about you. Don't let ego get in the way. You're right. But there's more. Okay, there is more. Sometimes saying sorry. Sometimes saying sorry can't fix the things that gone wrong. Quite honestly, most of the time, saying sorry can't fix the harm that's caused. And that brings us to our next point. Look for ways to fix what you broke. Okay? Part of that apology has got to be being genuine and asking, what can I do to fix this? How can I make this right? And I didn't make this its own banner. I didn't make this a flag because they're so close to each other and I don't want to make all those cuts. But look for ways to fix what broke and listen. Okay? Listen. Ask how you can help and listen to the help that they are asking for. That is the least that you can do as a sentient, sapient human being. Okay? Not an animal that's fighting for its own survival, but as a human being, apologize. Apologize for the harm that's done and ask if there's anything that you can do to set it right. And when they tell you, listen. Now, do not expect them to tell you in a calm and rational manner. Just listen. Listen to what they can do, what they need you to do to make it right. Now, real talk, sometimes they might not know. Okay? Sometimes they might not know. Okay? And in my experiences, a lot of the times, they don't believe that I mean it when I'm asking that question. It takes a while for that to settle in. Okay? And most of the time, those people also have so much inside that they want to get out based on what you've done that it all comes flooding out. But guess what? You don't have control of that situation. It's not about being in charge, having control, or setting terms. Okay? And I'm gonna put out there's a difference between terms and boundaries. Okay? It's always good to have healthy boundaries, but too many people set up terms, call them boundaries, and do everything they can to not feel bad about what they do. Okay? And again, if you guys are here, you've gone through that. This is what I do to be better. This is what I do to be better than those folks that harmed me. And again, when I cause harm, this is what I feel I'm responsible for doing. And you know what? When you do your best to see what you broke, to ask How can I fix this? What can I do to make it right? If they are clear to tell you within a day, 3 days, a week, a month, whatever, the next step can be difficult. And that is to put forth the effort to learn how not to repeat the action. Okay? Seriously. I have had many friends over the course of my life that apologized for what they did, expected me to let it go, and then did it again and again and again and again. And in the words of Todd from BoJack Horseman, you can't do crappy things and then feel bad about it later. You've got to do better. Okay? That is real talk. That is some serious, serious talk. You know, putting forth the effort to learn how not to repeat the action is huge, guys. Huge. All right? Because seriously, everybody makes mistakes. Errors are always made. But there is a very common thing, which is first time accident, second coincidence, third time conspiracy. All right? And there's a lot that goes with that, you know? And that's the thing. All of this stuff, some therapists would call active listening. Can ego stop people from doing better? Absolutely. Most of the time, ego stops people from doing better. Okay, I've seen so many bruised egos over people's actions, and I've had to deal with a lot of narcissists. Put their egos before doing better in the harm. All right? I've seen it so many times. I've seen the calling out hypocrisy. Well, you do, or putting their ego above all of this with, well, I hurt too. You know, the I hurt too thing. Well, I'm going through this and I should get a little leeway. And I let people know the fact that I'm having this conversation with you is the leeway. Because if I thought of you what your ego may believe or is trying to convince you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You would just be out of my life. Okay? But yeah. But again, this goes back into that part, you know, the whole first few of these 8 things. It ain't about you. It ain't about ego, okay? Ego makes it about you. No. All right? This is about repairing the harm that we've done. And too many people that have dealt with us, I'm assuming that because people are here. And I'm assuming that because people are here. Too many people have put their feelings above repairing the damage that they caused to us. Okay? And again, not about, you know, I have a feeling that I've caused harm. So guess what? The fact that I'm devastated doesn't matter. Okay? I want to fix this. Okay? Because I've got this thing called conscience. You know, I have a standard that I set. I put together a safe space, and if I made it unsafe, that's got to be fixed. Sorry. You know, went through a lot of this over the last few months. Turns out my ego has been a huge lesson. You know what? That's part of learning and growing, man. You know, seriously. I wish somebody had shown me these pictures and all that stuff when I was young. All right? But see, this is the part, and this is the part that I fight with people day in, day out. Because I'm actually more patient than I give myself credit for. And that is this. When you're making an apology, okay? When you are understanding, it's not about you, that your intention doesn't overshadow harm, and you apologize for the harm that you cause, and you try, when that glass is broken, and you clean up that mess, you do your absolute best. Do all of those things, okay? But and this is to a lot of the people that grew up either younger than me or more privileged than me. All right. And this is a really big one. All right. Because I get this a lot, and it just, what's the term? It really sticks in my craw, as it were. Okay. Because again, a lot of folks have this idea, and when they have this idea, wait, what is this button? Oh, okay. No, wrong button. There we go. Yeah. A lot of people, and this is that ego again, will only do this if they have assurances that things with the person they did harm to will go back to normal. I'm sorry to tell you this, but making the apology, being willing to do the actions and performing the actions are what's really important. Okay? But when you are in that mindset, guess what? Do not expect your apology to be accepted. That's not on you. That's that ego getting in the way again. All right? Real talk. The most important thing when it comes to taking accountability for your behavior at the game table, with your family members, in the workplace, with your friends, wherever. All right? When you knock over that soda and it covers someone's character sheet, all right? Clean up the mess. But don't expect that your apology will be received and everything goes back to normal. And if you're not willing to give an apology unless that's the outcome, then you're not giving a real apology. There is no contrition in your heart, okay? Or should I say there's not enough contrition in your heart to be a decent human being, okay? Just make the apology. Just clean up the mess, all right? And I know a lot of people, especially because of the world we live in, don't do anything unless you're going to get it perfect the first time. Yeah. But if you remember that what you do does not determine who you are, you can make an apology. Get your ego out of the way. Make the apology. That's what's important. Okay? Holding fast to who you wish to be is more important than whether or not a person is going to see you in the same way. All right? I'm serious. Bear with me, guys. We only got 2 more slides left. I hate doing PowerPoint. Now, there's a lot to this, and these are all things that we got to keep in mind. All right? And I'm going to put some stuff out there that I want you guys to take in, internalize. And I'm going to challenge you guys to put this forth in your regular life. Ready? Because this is big. All right? We're getting into the red flags now. All right? Red flags are your own behavior. Do not do things. Okay? But I'm going to put this out there. No apology will land if you use the word but. Okay? None. Not a single one. The word but, well, our butts are where a whole bunch of poop comes out. And if but is included in the apology, and you're not apologizing about a specific body part, then the poop that comes out will invalidate the rest of the thing. What do you mean, Solar? Well, I will give you an example. Hey, man, I'm sorry I said the stuff I said, but you gotta shut up. Okay, shut up. Or I'm sorry that I did what I did, but stop. Everything that comes after that word invalidates the apology. Okay? Everything. It literally makes everything that comes before it not count. So when you apologize to someone, do not let your apology contain but. And if you guys are out there that are like me and have a sarcastic thing in your head, however counts as well. You know, apologize for causing the harm that you did. Look to put it back together. But no, that's an excuse. No, just apologize. Just do the thing. Okay? Just do the thing. Because everything that follows word but is an excuse to make yourself feel better. Okay? It's something to soothe the ego. Now, I live in the United States of America, which is like the ego capital of the Western world. And even better, I live in Los Angeles and went to school in Hollywood. I get ego. Okay, I understand it. Okay, I think I made out with it a couple of times. Okay, I know what ego looks like. I know what it feels like most of the time. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. All right. But yeah, no apology lands if you use the word but, because it's an insincere apology. So avoid that. Don't do that. Okay? And again, this is one I got into with a lot of people for a lot of times. And my old GM brought this up. He said it, stuck with me. It was big. Ready? I'm sorry that you is not an apology. It's not. All right? It really isn't. Okay? I dare you to watch any reality show. How many times do you hear, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you think that. I'm sorry that, yeah, that's bullshit. All right? If that is what comes to your head, then don't apologize at all, because you don't mean it. All right? I'm sorry that cool. That's an apology. But I'm sorry that you, yeah, that's not an apology. That's word salad meant to obfuscate the situation. I don't care where you learned it. I don't care how often you do it. Knock that shit off. All right? Because real talk, you know, if you really feel you merely adopted ego. I was born in it, molded in it. I didn't see humanity until I was already a man. All I knew was ego. My first words were, what's my motivation? You know, I mean, seriously. Yeah, I mean, you know, and as fun as we're talking about, yeah, I'm sorry that you, not an apology. All right. And I know if you guys live anywhere in the United States, specifically a major metropolitan area, most places in the Western, anywhere that speaks English, I'm sure you've heard those words. I'm sorry that you, maybe not said to you, maybe you hear a couple fighting at a restaurant, maybe you know, but I'm sorry that you know, that's not an apology. Okay. That literally is a verbal trick used to turn offense back onto a person. Okay? So, real talk. I'm going to say again, I'm afraid that I broke someone's heart. I broke someone's trust. Okay? And if I did, I am truly sorry. And I want to make it right. And if you see this, send me an email, reach out to me on any of the social media platforms, you know, hit me up with a DM from anywhere to let me know what I can do to fix it. And I will do everything within my power to do so. You have my word on that. Okay? So that's where I sit. That is, you know, again, I left the Wizard's Tower, come to the library, because this is a conversation that needs to be had. And why? Now, I know you guys are talking about, you always say something like at the gaming table and then you hit us with this big life thing. Yeah, I do. Okay? Because as a GM, these conversations may need to be had. You know, you might have to talk with one of your players. Okay? I've had to have this conversation with a GM that insisted I play a Southern Baptist when I was a cleric. I've had conversations with this when it came to certain GMs really trying to put my whatever cards I can pull at the forefront of how they expected me to behave at the gaming table. Okay? You know, and there's a lot of things I can tell you as a cis man. I do so many things that accidentally step on the toes of other groups that are generally oppressed by cis men without knowing it. So I got a lot of crow to eat in a lot of areas as well. Nobody's perfect. And in the 21st century, we are all learning. Now, I hope you guys stuck with me throughout this hour. And hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I was able to impart a little bit of my DM's life wisdom onto you guys. So that when the time comes for you to apologize, you know, do it this way. You know, these are all keys to sincerity, keys to being genuine. Okay, because a genuine apology, you know, is really about atoning for what we did. Full stop. Okay? That atonement cannot be laced with ego or protection of identity or assumption, you know, clearing up our intentions. Blah. None of that. Clean up broken glass. The glass, the clean up the shards of glass. The glass we broke. Okay? Whether or not we're welcomed in that person's house anymore, that's up to them. Whether they accept our apologies, that's up to them. Talking about how we didn't mean it and, you know, trying to cover your own ass from to say like, well, there's no malicious intent in what I did and all that stuff. You know, screw that. Clean up the glass. Clean it up. You know, that's it. Fix what you broke. Acknowledge that you broke it, fix what you broke, and do your best not to break it again if you're let back into that house. That's what being a good guest is. That's what being a good friend is. You know, that is how we keep our spaces safe for people that have been hurt in the same ways that we had. And be honest with yourself and with me, okay? In all the times that people have hurt you intentionally and non-intentionally, if they came to you with these 8 points and didn't use those red flags, how would you feel? I'm not asking if you would forgive them. I'm not asking if you would let them back into your lives. In my case, I would have been 431.2% less angry when I was in my 20s and 30s. Okay? If this is what people that had harmed me had come to me with, instead of that's just how they are, well, I'm a good person, blah, blah, blah. If they had cleaned up their messes, I would have more people in my life. Okay? And, you know, I'm not one of those like be the change you want to see in the world and all that stuff. No. If I broke a glass, okay, if I made someone feel unsafe in this space, I am truly sorry. And I want to make that right because I do everything in my power to assure that this space is safe. That people from all walks of life, you know, that have gone through hell can come onto this Twitch stream and talk with cool people and see that we are a tribe. Many faces, all right? The only people that aren't welcome to being deckers are people that aren't deckers in the sense of they make the space unsafe for others, okay? I violated my own protocol if this person felt unsafe or unwelcomed or unseen or unimportant via my actions. And if this person sees this video, because I don't know if they're going to, you know, I mean everything that I'm saying. I broke that glass. Whether I intended to or not is not nearly as consequential as me trying to fix the harm that I did. Okay? I do want to let you know in case this is relevant. I didn't mean to. Okay? But just because I didn't mean to, I don't expect you to overlook it. You know, I really don't. Because whether or not I meant to has no bearing on whether or not I did. And if I did, I'm sorry. And the door is open if you want to come back. Okay? But with that, I want to thank you guys. Oh, you're welcome, Carthulo. Again, I'm saying all this stuff, and I'm letting you know right now, guys, I'm in a dark space. Okay? Because I think I might have caused harm to someone who needed us here. And I may have made them feel like they're not welcomed or they're not safe. And that, I cannot tell you how much that messes me up. The only reason I'm not crying on screen is because I grew up in the 80s, and I remember when televangelists used to do that to cover their own butts. But I'm messed up, okay? Because if I'm right, I screwed the pooch. I did that. And I got to make that right, okay? And if someone else did, and again, this goes for anybody. If we're in the Discord server, we're talking on Deckers on the book, we're sending emails, every single one of us has a responsibility to the only qualification to being a Decker is to do your best to make sure that this place is safe to every Decker. And that means calling out people when they try and force their narrative in an unsafe manner. You know, it means when somebody makes somebody else uncomfortable, you call them on that. You know, seriously. Do I think people who know they have ego don't want to fix it because they don't care? Some. The world is filled with all types of people. Okay? But in this space, I put this space together for people to feel safe. And in order to do that, truthfully, we all got to do better. Even more truthfully, I am responsible for doing even better than everybody else because I facilitate this space. Okay? I have an example to set. And I screwed that up. I really believe that I screwed that up. And if people don't want to be under the standards, you know, yeah, this is a safe space. I'm glad that you think so. Okay? And I'm happy that you're here. I am grateful for every single one of you people that watch these streams, show up regularly, drop memes, talk to us in the Discord server, join Deckers on the book, even meet me in real life. Okay, I'm grateful for every single one of you guys, and it hurts like hell when I lose one. But I'm going through a special sort of pain because I think that this person left directly based on my actions. And whether or not I'm a better person than that, I don't give a damn. But I am going to behave better. If I'm right. You know, if I am. You know, if I'm right, that's what I have to do. That's my responsibility. Because I have the power enough to have this platform. I also have the power enough to know what some things that make people feel unsafe are. Which means I've got the responsibility to make this place safe from at least those things. We all have the responsibility to learn more. You know, seriously. You know, I mean, that's a lot. I know that's a lot. Okay. But like I said, I screwed up. And, you know, I'm pretty sure I screwed up. I could be absolutely incorrect in what I'm thinking. Okay. But if I'm not, if I'm not incorrect, then I got work to do. And guess what? If I am incorrect, the fact that I could have been incorrect about this in the way that's touching me so deeply right now means I still got more work to do. Okay? It's really that simple. All right? So with that, I want to thank you guys for showing up. All right? I really do. Major thanks to all you guys out there. All right. If you guys want to get a hold of me, you can hit me up at backinthedeck at email.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on Twitter at backinthedeck, at Instagram at backinthedeck, on TikTok at bidpy. That's BIDPY. Yeah, I had to spell it phonetically because someone took the normal handle. And of course, you can reach out if you're still part of that wretched hive of scum and villainy, known as known as Facebook. I don't know, was that future Freudian slip? I don't know. But yeah, join Deckers on the Book. All right. Talk to the people, show up your stuff. Neon Arlecchino, if you could do me the favor of putting up an invitation to the Discord, because I still don't know how to do that. And yeah, just put that up there. Join the Discord server. It's a public server and all of that jazz. Have conversations, get to know us. Drop me a DM via there. Real talk, people, I answer almost every direct message I get. I say almost because once it starts flooding and I still got to do things like make money and stuff like that. So yeah, I would put up, actually, I'm going to put this up now so y'all don't have to scroll so far. We have a Patreon, we've got merch, all that other stuff if you guys want to help us out. And, yeah, but seriously, this was a heavy one. We're going to get back to fun tomorrow. Okay. We're seriously going to get back to having fun on the thing tomorrow, but I wanted to put this out there because I don't get this opportunity very often in knowing that I might have done something that caused someone harm, and I don't take the time to publicly apologize. Okay. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to do that. All right. And I put this up there, not just to make y'all take your medicine. No. Okay. I'm not doing that. The ways that I put up here, these 8 points, and I'm going to go over them again because they're here, understanding that it ain't about me, because it's not about me. Okay. Doesn't matter about my intention. My intention, and whatever I did is not as important as the impact of what I did was. All right. I caused harm. Okay. And it's that simple. And I feel bad about the harm that I caused. If I am the one that made this person feel that this place was unsafe, I did that. And if I did that, I got to make sure that either that person feels safe enough to come back or that it does not happen again. Okay. And I'm willing to do what it takes to learn how to fix it and how not to make it happen again. Okay. So for all that, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry for what I did, and I'm sorry for the effects that what I did had. So hopefully that person will reach out on any of those places. All right, guys. But with that, I say this and I sincerely mean it. If anyone has told you that you can't like what you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, budget, neurodivergency, whatever, you tell them to take those cards and put them back in the deck because you don't need them. We're here. We got you. All right. And I'm Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer. I will see you guys next time, right here on the dark side of the room.